Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft New Nintendo 3DS Edition Let's Play video. And this is the perfect time to start a video as we are now witnessing a sunrise. And of course, sunrises always mean a good thing because it is now becoming day. So as you can see from the last video, we began work on my brand new build in my GenSpace manor, and that is the new stronghold styled library. And as you can see, we made some decent progress on the last video, nothing truly revolutionary by any means. We basically just placed a few bookshelves that I created, as well as starting the stairs up to the second floor. And speaking of second floor, we're actually going to be going up to the second floor today in this video, because as you can see, I have a few stone bricks left over from the last video. And speaking of stone bricks, I think I'm actually going to go over and craft some new stone brick stairs just for this purpose later. So I think I'm just going to craft 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should be enough. Oh yeah, full stack basically, so that is plenty. And we're also going to make an entrance over to the hallway. So we really honestly do not have any way at all of getting in here. Like, if I told you guys, how do you think you would enter the library? I don't think anyone would have a good logical answer other than just falling to their death from the second floor hallway, which of course is not the best option at all. So that's why today we're actually going to start by creating a entranceway to the library, and it's going to line right up to these 3 stairs. So we're going to stand right in the middle here, and I'm just going to walk all the way over to the wall so that way we're completely even. And I'm going to break away 2 blocks here, and then I'm going to go to the left and right and break away an additional 2, and of course got rid of this dirt from the past video. And of course this opening is going to be used to get to the hallway. Now you might have noticed the hallway is elevated, and obviously this only means one thing. We are going to have to place down some stairs, as I've already mentioned. So we're going to start by placing down some right against the wall, as you can see, and we're going to go up from here. So I'm thinking that if we line up these stairs to here, they're going to end up something like this. So we're going to have to connect these stairs to here. And I'm honestly thinking that I'm not going to start the stairs this close to the hallway. I'm actually going to grab some regular old stone brick and place down 3 here, and hopefully they line up. Yes, they do. And then we can actually place down them behind that, or right on top of these 3 blocks here. So let's go and continue from this side, and I'm thinking I'm actually going to place down just 1 layer of stairs, so not 2 just yet. And then I'll place down another row of stone brick behind that, and then we'll place a row of stairs. I just see this spider keep jumping around over here. And of course, there's also a plethora of mobs as well. And oh great, I attracted it over here. That's not that much of a problem because we can easily kill it. And I think I just attracted the zombie villager as well. And I certainly did. So I guess we have to kill it as well. But it doesn't matter because it's daytime, so it's burning. Now I just gotta hope that that creeper doesn't come over here. So we'll do the same thing over here. We'll place 2 rows of stone brick here, and then we'll place stairs right on top of this. And then theoretically, yes, perfect. This is exactly the design I was looking for. So basically, these stairs are perfectly even. It starts off with a normal stair block, then a space, just a regular block, another stair block, and then a regular block, and then a stair block, and then a regular block. There's actually 2 regular blocks here, but it's still pretty even in my opinion. I think this looks really good. Now for the walls in the hallway. This is something that I've been trying to really think about these last couple of episodes. What should I make the actual walls of the hallway? As I already am using spruce for the exterior, and a lot of the rooms in this house, basically every first floor room so far. Now I was thinking of wood types first, and I thought about birch, but I don't think birch would actually look that great, to be honest. So I'm thinking that cobblestone may work, but then again, cobblestone's not really universally liked block for a wall pattern. So I was really thinking, I think I might actually either do some type of terracotta, which of course is not the easiest to harvest, or I would actually pick a new stone variant, because there's actually a lot more stone variants. So there's chisel bricks, which I think are really well suited for roofing. There's of course andesite, which I've already used. I could use regular andesite, but there's diorite and granite, in my opinion, just do not look good for walls. At least they're standard variants. Polished diorite looks alright, but not good enough for walls. Polished granite wouldn't be a bad idea for flooring, but quartz would not be a bad idea in my opinion, and this is the one that I think that I may use for the hallways and every single hallway in my house. That includes the second floor ones. And I think I actually do have quite a bit of quartz in my house, so this will actually work out quite good. Alright, and now the next thing we're going to do before we go grab some more wood, because as you can tell I'm desperately low, we're going to actually create the rest of the stairwell for the second floor. So we'll go ahead and bring this all the way out as far as we can go. I'm thinking we'll go all the way out to the wall, because that way it gives us enough room to put the stairs here. Because I don't want the stair to be right here, because of course I want the railing to be there, and I don't want that to kind of awkwardly corner and then go right up. So I'm thinking that I'll place 3 stone bricks here, but unfortunately, wow, and just like that, I'm out of stone bricks. That honestly took way shorter time than I thought. I thought we'd honestly have enough to go through this entire video, but well, that is obviously not the case. Luckily though, I'm pretty sure I do have a few cooking at home, maybe? I don't know exactly. So I think now that I've run out of the stone bricks, I think it's best to now just continue with the stone brick stairs all the way up, just because I do not need stone bricks for this process, thankfully. But I do need them for the walls. But once I reach the actual height of the stairs or the actual hallway of the second floor, that'll be my stopping point. And I'm thinking that these reverse stairs are actually going to have to stop soon. I won't be able to make them down here anymore because I'll run out of reach. So I'm just going to have to make sure that once I actually get up higher, I'm going to have to make sure that when I go to place the stairs up here that I actually do them correctly. Or I'll just get a block that I don't care about, like this dirt here, and I'll just place it on top. Or I'll pile up and then I'll place it on the stairs instead. So that's probably something that I will definitely consider. So unless if I can actually crouch on the side and do it, which is something that I probably can do. Because if so, this will make it tons easier. Oh yeah, I can. Alright, that actually makes this a whole heck of a lot easier. God, if only I knew that like a few minutes ago, but that's not that big of a deal. At least I figured it out, and at least I can utilize it in some way. I mean, yeah, as you can tell, it doesn't really work every time, but it does have a higher success rate than, of course, doing it from the floor. So we're going to place down these last few blocks. God, we are so close. We almost made it. This is literally like the block right beneath it, too. So all I needed was to go up one more layer, and we would have done it. But, of course, I'm going to have to go back to my house anyway to grab some more stone brick because we are out of it. We're going to go on a tree cutting down adventure? I was going to say mining. I always tend to say tree mining adventure, but it's not really mining. You don't really mine a tree. I guess you technically can use that term, but I always like to use chopping down because that's more of a generalized term for getting rid of a tree. So that's usually what I use to describe getting rid of a tree. It may not really seem like it, but there's still some forest left in this world. So there is a swamp. Ooh, an Enderman. Well, pause my train of thought because I actually want to kill this thing. Luckily, there's a tree right here that I can stand underneath and be safe because it's only 2 blocks high. I don't know if it'll drop an ender pearl, you guys. Oh, it did. Wow. Well, this is my lucky day. This has got to be like my 8th or 9th ender pearl at this point. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, you guys. I'm getting a lot more lucky with ender pearls in this season than I did in the last season, which is great. That is amazing to actually say that. Because I struggled so bad trying to get the ender pearls in the last season. And yes, I did say that this will be the last episode of the Christmas decor. And okay, we're actually going to start getting rid of it right now. Just so I can prove to you guys that yes, it is coming down. When this video is posted, it'll most likely be mid-January. So this is a little bit late. But trust me, this will be the last episode with them. So we're actually going to get started by removing all the presents. Because, well, they've all been opened, and they were all your guys' featured comments, which I revealed in my Christmas special. So these presents around the tree are now empty. So that's part of the reason why I'm just mining them away. And yeah, obviously I'll do the rest of this off camera because you guys don't really need to see me just chop down leaves for the next 30 minutes. So we're going to leave that alone for now. But yes, in the next video, the lights and garland will be gone because the holidays are over. So, God, what was I saying before the Enderman? The Enderman kind of distracted my train of thought there. Oh yeah, so something about trees. So I was thinking that as far as trees are concerned, we're gonna have to create a lot of axes, and unfortunately, I'm out of basically any material I can use to create an axe, except for stone, of course. I don't have any iron, so we're gonna have to just make do of what we have, and I'm just gonna have to create a bunch of axes, probably 4, because I don't want to like overdo it, and then I'm like, oh great, I still have so many axes I have to use up, so then I just purposely use them up. Just use them up, I guess, and then I end up with a plethora of wood, which, I mean, that's a good thing, I guess. Having more wood is better than barely any at all, I guess, so I guess this is kind of a good thing after all. In a previous video, so let's see what we got. I'm hoping, wow, I got so much clay. Oh, I still have a ton of bricks in here. What are these bricks doing in here? And I even have a ton of clay. God, I kept saying, oh wow, I don't have enough flooring to finish my kitchen. I still have tons to do and I have no more bricks. Well, I have almost a full stack of bricks and like 2 stacks of clay in here. 17 books? Well, don't mind if I do. And I even have 36. Oh, that was when I broke the book. Okay. So turns out I have almost a stack of books and I didn't even know I had 17 in here. Oh, and I have 5 leather. Well, would you look at that? That'll come in handy as well. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to grab a few trees and I'm going to come back to my house because I'm thinking I'm going to end the video here just because I want to get rid of all the Christmas decor. So I don't want to go back to the GenSpace Manor and then of course come back here and just whatever. I don't have to keep walking back and forth. And speaking of walking back and forth, I have mentioned several times, almost just countless times at this point, that I'm going to make a basement in my GenSpace Manor that has a train station. So I'm going to be using minecarts to their fullest potential and actually using them to travel around my world. So from my actual manor over to my house, and my house over to my milestone museum, my barn, etc., whatever other builds that I decide to make between now and 200. So yeah, and yeah, it's been a while since I've shown you guys the milestone museum. No real updates ever since the 150 monument was added, which was a huge addition, to be completely honest with you guys. And the 140 monument's also done, which is something I don't think I've really ever shown you guys. Because I remember creating the 140 monument, but I've never really shown you guys the finished product. So here it is. Obviously, the colors match my channel colors, red and blue. And the 130 is obviously nether, because that's kind of like a period when I went to the nether a lot, and then etc., with the other things. It basically, the milestones kind of monitor, or kind of like showcase the materials that I use the most throughout my Minecraft 3DS survival adventure. So here is the swamp, and I don't think I've ever been here in my Let's Play. So you guys now get to see an undiscovered land in my survival world. Yes, that is right. There is a swamp in this seed, believe it or not. While swamps are the most interesting biomes in the world, they are definitely more interesting than your typical forest or birch forest, which I just dread. And would you look at that? Looks like Herobrine has been messing around in my world lately. Honestly, wow, and look at that. The game just crashed as I talked about Herobrine, so as you guys can tell, Herobrine's probably cursed this world, unfortunately. And with some editing magic, we are now back to the swamp with a full inventory, and that's because I just decided to bring all this stuff with me, and I found a ton of animals over here that I had to unfortunately kill to get some food. Because of course I'm running pretty low because I only have 2 steak left. So I'm going to go ahead and destroy out this rotten flesh, and we're going to start by collecting some trees. And we'll see how far we can get. Well, maybe not very far if this creeper blows me up. And with that creeper gone, we're going to go ahead and chop down a bunch of these trees. I did make 4 total new axes, as you can tell. So, with that being said, I don't know how long one of these stone axes is going to last, but as you can tell, the durability is already like 25% lowered. So we're going to have to see, because we're already up to 19 logs, so this will be interesting. And what's even more interesting is that there's no lava around here, so I wonder why these trees have no leaves on them. I mean, like I said earlier, it could be Herobrine. I mean, Herobrine could be in my world, you guys. I mean, who knows, right? It could be a thing. I mean, no one's confirmed it. It is fake, of course, but you know, that's one of, if you guys have been following Minecraft trends and just videos or content in general for a long time, you will know that one of the signs of Herobrine is the fact that you will see tons of trees with no leaves. You'll just see the trees basically just like this. No leaves and just the trunk. So that's why I decided to bring it up, because It's just one of those signs of Herobrine that you always, used to hear about. What's even more weird is that there's even leaves down here on the floor. So it almost makes me think that either A, I came through here one time and physically collected leaves, or B, they burned to a thunderstorm? I'm thinking B, because I don't think I came over here I did come over here to collect some leaves for the Christmas tree, but I don't think I came over this far. I think I mostly went over to the portion over there, and I mostly just planted my own trees, to be honest. And I mostly just got all my materials from those. And of course I replanted those trees, as I didn't want a bunch of ugly looking trunks everywhere, or a bunch of ugly looking trunks to stems, I guess, because a trunk is just like the bottom portion of a tree, so I guess you would just call it a full trunk then. But anyway, this pickaxe is a little less than 50% durability left, so hopefully we can at least get a full stack. Oh yeah, we definitely will. We'll get much more than a full stack, at least out of one axe. But I'm just going to get one stack for now, just because that's pretty much all the time we have in this video, because this video is going to be very long. And that's one thing, speaking of longer videos, that I want to start doing is, well, longer videos. I wanted to start making videos that are a little bit longer than 15 minutes long, because I usually made my Minecraft 3DS Let's Plays around the 10 to 11, maybe sometimes 12 or 13 minute mark. And a couple of you guys have requested me in the past to make longer Minecraft 3DS videos. So I've been trying to do that a little bit more lately. Sometimes I don't make episodes that are as long, but this time around, I definitely will do that a little bit more frequently than I usually did before. Because I know not everybody watches the videos all the way through the end. Only like about 15 to 20% of actual viewers on my Minecraft 3DS series actually watch through the whole video, which is honestly a decent number to begin with. But obviously, that's not all the viewers, which it's never going to be all, so that's just something that you kind of have to realize when making content on YouTube. Alright, and as you can see, I'm now made it back home, and I have my stack of wood on me, and with that being said, that's going to go ahead and conclude it for this video. As I said earlier in this video, in the next video, we're going to be continuing work on the library, and maybe even getting up to the second floor and actually creating it. So that'll be quite interesting once we get up to that point. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.